It's Alexander Dunlop. I'm here doing my live video with my son behind me. I got that over that shoulder. He's off of school today. It is almost summer. Hard to believe. School year is coming to a close, and today is an optional day. He did not actually have to go to school, and then tomorrow is the official last day as he's riding around on a hoverboard behind me. So this is the weekly wisdom call. We're talking about the card of the week. We're talking about the ordinary deck of playing cards. If you've been following along, you know that, hi Roseanne, the deck of playing cards is actually an ancient book of wisdom, a regular deck of playing cards. And this book was hidden in plain sight. It's a book without a binding. And in this ancient book, we can read our lives. It's the book of our lives. Every week, there is a card to play. There's 52 cards in the deck, 52 weeks in the year, and so every card is a week. We also, based on our date of birth, we have 13 cards in our life path. Just based on the numbers of our date of birth, we have 13 cards in our life. And if you want to find out what the cards are in your life path, you can get a copy of my book, Play Your Cards Right, A Sacred Guide to Life on Earth. And in this book, you can read all about your 13 cards of your life path. And when you know your 13 cards, you have the sacred template of your life. This is like the sacred blueprint to see exactly the map and the direction and the outline of your life. So that instead of struggling against the grain and trying to move against the current, you can harmonize your life. You can consciously get in tune with the energy flow of your life. And that's the benefit of knowing this ancient knowledge and then being able to apply it in your own life. What I do in these weekly calls is I talk to you about the card of the week. And this is a card that's in play for all of us globally. And so in a sense, it's the generic energy. It's the underlying and background energy of the week. We might even think of this as like the weather. This is the weather that's happening. Hey, Stephen. And so knowing the card of the week, it's like knowing what's the weather report for the week. What's in the quantum energy field? What's going on all around? And then we can make informed decisions to choose how we want to interact with this energy. So this week, the energy in play is the King of Clubs. This is the symbol that represents the energy pattern in the field all around us. I don't know if you can notice, but I have like a red dot on my forehead that's been forming. It's really interesting to me. It's been coming out. It feels to me like a bindi from a past life or something is coming out. I've got this red dot. Look at that. You can see it. This red dot right on my forehead. It's very interesting. I'm not sure where that's come from, but I have a red dot on my forehead. And it's significant to me for many reasons, but one that this King of Clubs is my shadow card in my life path. And so it's the 9th card in my path. And because this is the card of the week, I would expect that some interesting things are going to be revealed from my own shadows. But yeah, right, look at that. Wait, there we go. Yeah, you can see that. There's a red dot right on my forehead. Like, what's going on? Anyway, that's a different discussion about why there's a red dot appearing on my forehead. But the card of the week is the King of Clubs. And so we're still in the suit of clubs. And the king is the authority, the commanding authority. So with the King of Clubs present as the card of the week, it would be a question for all of us of how do we hold our authority? How do we wear the crown, put the crown on, how do we wear the crown of our own authority? Some people, when they get into positions of authority, they lord it over others and they talk down. So you want to be on the lookout for a condescending energy this week where you're talking down to people, or where other people might be trying to talk down to you as if you're an idiot, right? Sometimes when we play with authority, and this is mental authority, right? King of Clubs is mental authority. Sometimes that goes to people's heads, right? Pun intended. People get over, I don't know how to say that, overexcited and egotistical about their own mental authority. It goes to their heads. So in the energy field that's all around us this week, we're all playing that. And unfortunately, what that can mean is some mental arguments about who's got the last word, or who's got the right perspective, or who's got the more enlightened insight. Well, no, I think it's this. Well, no, I think it's this. There can be this kind of tete-a-tete of argumentation this week. So you want to be on the lookout for that. How am I wearing the crown of my authority? On the other hand, flipping it around completely, a lot of people don't like authority. Some people, it goes to their heads and they overact their authority. Other people don't like it and try to avoid it. And then don't like it when other people claim any authority. So may have knee-jerk reactions to any authority figures or anyone who claims to be speaking from a position of authority. So that's the other thing that's present in the energy field this week that you want to be alert to is, are you resisting or resenting any authority figures simply because you're uncomfortable with authority? Right? There's nothing wrong with authority by itself. It's only when authority is overused and overplayed that it becomes a problem, but that's the same with anything. When anything is overused and overplayed, then it gets out of balance and out of harmony. So people have a lot of issues with authority, and this is a week where authority is in the air. Authority is all around us. Who's got authority, and how and why do they hold their authority? So be alert for interactions with figures of authority, like police officers or judges. Who else holds authority in our society? I guess teachers, if you're a student, the teacher is the authority figure. If your parents, maybe authority figures for you. So it would be an interesting week to look at how you interact with the authority figures in your life, and then how you embody authority for yourself. Do you resist it and avoid it? Stephen's saying you just got back from jury duty. Yeah. I guess maybe you got let off early. Is that why you're back early? So, yeah, how do we engage authority? And what it boils down to is, how do we embody it for ourselves? That's the real question, right? It's not really what other people are doing, because it's our own choice of how we align and interact from ourselves, right? Someone can be playing their cards badly, and it doesn't bother us because we are connected to our own authority and we are aligned within ourselves. And that's the real question, is trusting our own knowing, right? I'm making this kind of gesture of like aligning to our own truth, like connecting to our higher truth. That's what's at stake this week, connecting to our own higher truth, so that we trust our own inner knowing, and then we take action based on what we know. That's what's important this week. Do you trust what you know? Yeah, Stephen, that's funny. King of Clubs is your soul gift. So this week is a gift for you, and gifts will show up in your life this week. For those of you who don't know, what Stephen is commenting on is that in his life path, the King of Clubs is the gift card for him. So he would expect to receive some gifts this week. And one of the gifts he got was that he got let off of jury duty. For most people, that's a gift. I know it would be for me. So we're talking about not just the basic energy of the King of Clubs, but how it shows up in our life path, how it intersects with our own energy experience. For me, as I mentioned already, the King of Clubs is the 9th card in my life path, which shows me my own shadows. So it'll show me things that I need to integrate further, things that I might be afraid of or resistant to, ways in which I'll need to grow and develop further if I want to evolve and up-level my life to the next stage. The general meaning of the King of Clubs is, how do you own your authority? And how do you, in alignment with compassion and wisdom, speak your truth? And that's what's at stake this week. And the affirmation is something like this: I speak my truth with compassion and wisdom. Let's write that down. I speak my truth with compassion and wisdom. I speak my truth with compassion and wisdom. And what's inlaid in that statement is that we each have a different truth. And by truth, I mean the resonant harmony of our own integrity. Right? Someone else has a different resonant harmony for what's integrity for them, or what integrity looks like for them. So when we're really and truly standing in our own authority, we're not bothered by or upset by other people's decisions for their own life. That's very important when we're playing the King of Clubs. Now, the other thing that comes up this week with the King of Clubs is truth. The truth surfaces. And if you don't like the truth, you might not like what you see this week. The King of Clubs is the King of Truth, and he holds a sword of truth. But he tends to look away from the truth. This week, the truth will surface, whether you like it or not, and the truth will come out. And you may have an opportunity to dissect the true from the false very cleanly and clearly this week. What's really true for me in my life, and what isn't? And if you love truth, then this is a great week for you. Roseanne, what is your birth card and personality card? I'm curious to know. And give us more information about how you're going to play the King of Clubs this week. So whenever you're ready, Roseanne, if you know it, please put in your birth card and your personality card. I don't know what ACCE stands for. I'm not sure what that means. Oh, Ace of Diamonds. Well, in the soul tree, the King of Clubs is Moon to the Ace of Diamonds. So you would find a lot of support this week. Oh, November 6th, that's my son's birthday, who was just in the video. And yes, Stephen, the truth can bop people on the head, right? And that can be our challenge. That's why it's so important for us to speak the truth with compassion and wisdom, because the truth can be jarring, right? Especially if people have been willfully ignorant, like deliberately trying to avoid seeing the truth can be really jarring. Whoa, whoa, it can be really jarring for people to hear the truth. So when we're speaking the truth, it's important for us to be aware, and this is the kingly way, to be aware of how we speak the truth, right? So that we're knowledgeable even of how the truth lands. This is the really playing the King of Clubs well. So we're not just speaking the truth, we're speaking the truth with love. And there's a kindness and there's a compassion in the way that we wield this sword of truth, right? And that's what's going to be in play this week, right? Is the truth jarring and confrontational and argumentative, or does the truth open up more possibilities? Ralph Waldo Emerson said that the truth will set you free. So that's certainly one possibility, is that the truth sets us free. And so there can be a great freedom and a liberation this week with the King of Truth present. And perhaps the truth really can set us free this week. So there can be a real freedom in the truth. And that's what we hope for, and that's playing the King of Clubs well, is looking for the truth that sets us free. And it's a freedom to be authentic. It's a freedom to be really, truly who we are, in total integrity, in total resonance with ourselves. So I invite you this week to see what's really true. And sometimes what's really true is that people just need a hug. They might not need to hear how they did it wrong or how they got it wrong, or they might not need to hear any advice, right? So you want to be aware of being a king of unsolicited advice this week, trying to give everyone advice. When there's a real wisdom present, you might realize that what someone really needs is a hug. They don't necessarily need any advice. And that's another kingly way to wear the crown of wisdom. Like, what's really true? Is it really true that this person needs advice? Or is it really true that this person, maybe they just need a hug right now? So this is penetrating the true from the false. What's really true here? So you have an opportunity to see what's really true in your life for yourself this week. And so the truth can be jarring and hard to see, and the truth can set us free. So, okay. So our affirmation for the week is, I speak my truth with compassion and wisdom. I think that was the affirmation. Yes, I speak my truth with compassion and wisdom. So I'm going to take a deep breath 3 times, and I'll say it out loud 3 times. I invite you to join me. I speak my truth with compassion and wisdom. I speak my truth with compassion and wisdom. I speak my truth with compassion and wisdom. All right. Have a wonderful week, everyone. And may the truth set you free. And may knowing the truth set you free to be more truly who you are. All right. talk to you next week.